I'm a One Piece theory man. See, the latest chapter of One Piece dropped like an hour ago or so, and I'm going to be talking about the latest chapter of One Piece and even putting my little theory that I devised together. So if you don't know, chapter 1185, y'all better buzz off, dropped today. It's currently the 11th of June. It currently dropped today. I don't know when this video is going to come out, but it's going to come out soon because I have my little theory about it. See, I'm not going to really analyze the entire chapter. I'm just going to be talking about certain points in the chapter, mainly points about from like this page onwards to the very end of the page or the chapter, I mean. So the first thing I want to talk about is what the hell is this? See, Brook is looking at Shirley, and Louisvin, Louisvin has like horns coming out his head, also like wings, he's also on the ground dead, and this is Shitty with like wings. You can see her horns right here. Yeah, that's the thing, but I'm just wondering, what is this? We're just like, what even is this? And I want to tell you guys about a little theory I have on what this thing is and who it actually is. And I'm talking about the five elders. See, if you look at the five elders back in chapter 1086, must all get their names and all get their roles in the world government. You have Saturn being the defensive science and warrior god, Mars being environmental warrior god, Warkery being the justice warrior god, Nusjiro being the finance warrior god, and Peter being the agriculture warrior god. They all have their own separate roles by Emu, and we need to think about this for a second. There has been some changes to the environment of Esperia, and who has the role of an environmental god? That's right, you guessed it, Mars. And this thing right here, this bird-like creature, looks quite literally familiar to someone's ability. That's right, you guessed it, Saint Marcus Mars' ability, the Itsumade, this thing right here. Now let me preference by saying this, okay? Am I saying it is him? No, but it's a high chance that it could be him. And let me just tell you this, I have even more evidence to back that up. If you look up the Itsumade bird, the Itsumade is an ominous bird from Japanese folklore, described as having a human face, snake-like body, and wings. It is said to appear during the great times of great plague or disaster. I'm not going to really read the rest of it off, but you get the idea. And you're wondering, is there a great plague? Because, there certainly is a disaster right now, but is there a great plague? And that it is true. If we go up and more in the chapter, remember when I said I'm going to read off of this point onward? See, there is, a shrouded cloud, smog or whatever, that's lingered for like half a year. And the thing is, it has like also infected people and has killed hundreds of people, and that's probably Candle was probably one of those people who fell victim to this smog or whatever this is. That's a huge environmental change, and that's why I think this bird at the very end of the chapter might genuinely be him, okay? Because that doesn't, like, why out of everything why would Oda put this? Okay, knowing what the Itsumade bird actually means, like, why would he put that there? Because like I said, we have to remember all of the five elders is like roles within the world government, because like honestly we need to understand these guys are like they might have something even more important to them, more than they have now, because we have to really think about it. Remember what Saturn did on Egghead during Kuma's backstory. He was the one overseeing how Kuma's operation would be done. Yeah, this is basically it once more. So Mars is overseeing how this operation would be done. And I got a question, why would the world government send an elder to go check this place out when the highest strength they could probably send is maybe 2 or maybe 1 to 2 holy knights? They don't need an elder to be here. And that's what like accumulated to like this being a thing. I've like highlighted a lot of things. I even put Marcus Mars. This is going to be like like this is like gonna be my thumbnail. But I also have a theory about this dude who is sitting here, and I want you to like really look at his shoes. Like, come on, what the fuck are those? Some people think this dude might be Shiryu's dad. You know, the guy the guy from the Blackbeard Pirates. I mean, he does have some similarities, but I feel like this guy might be related to Buggy somehow, because this dude has some fucked up clown shoes, and there's only one clown of the entire series, and it's Buggy. But that's a really small chance. Another one, it might be another Holy Knight. I'm because it has a Holy Knight attire. I mean, if you look at previous chapters or previous episodes with Holy Knights, this dude, you know, he has the same fucking shit on. And I saw, you know, a post on Twitter saying that this might actually be the man marked by flames, and someone said, oh, you know, the man marked by flames works with the government, yada yada yada. I'd like to say this: the man marked by flames doesn't really work with the government, because if you go back to chapter 1081 and you scroll down and you look through it, literally Shiryu says, I bet he works with the government. You know, that's like Shiryu's opinion, you know, because like if you really look, because like Lafitte, like before this, says that this might be a pirate, or is implying that it might be a pirate. All right, and like this person's identity might be up in the air. Someone said this might be an admiral that Rocks killed. I don't know, considering that this person is wearing Holy Knight attire. They don't look like the admiral that Rocks killed. Yeah, but that is basically my theory about this chapter, about who that, you know, this black mist person thing, whatever this is, and also this. It's just a little side note theory. I mean, this person might become important later on in the story, but I don't know. Anyways, that's pretty much it.